Buckle up, this is one ride you won't want to miss. The Joe Rogan Experience has become legendary for its raw, off-the-cuff energy where no topic is off-limits and no guest is predictable. One moment you're knee-deep in ancient philosophy, the next it's wild conspiracy theories or fiery live debates. And right at the center of the chaos? Joe Rogan, steady, sharp, and unfiltered. With razor-sharp timing and a no-nonsense approach, he jumps in just as the conversation teeters on the edge, slicing through nonsense with honesty that hits hard and real. This isn't just a podcast, it's intelligent mayhem with a purpose. And Joe? He's the calm in the storm. Today, we're spotlighting those unforgettable moments when Rogan's cool command takes over. Watch till the end, and if this hits your vibe, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. There's plenty more where this came from.
This idea that we argue about the Second Amendment, like, let's let constitutional lawyers, I think, discuss a lot of those things, and we should all understand that and be curious about it, but our Constitution is also silly. Like, let's remake everything. Like, let's have that conversation. There's so much better that we can do. Have a serious conversation about what kind of guns and bullets people can have. Not that they can have them or that they can't have. Like, that's the conversation. That's where we should be right now. Everything gets regulated.
But the gun thing, the most part about the messiness of the gun thing is that even if you made guns illegal, even if you said you can't have any bullets, you'll all go to jail. There's so many guns. You're not getting them all.
And that's Pete Dominic for you, political comedian turned provocateur, always eager to stir the pot, even if it means flipping the whole table. Sure, if you're against the Second Amendment, that's your right, we can argue that all day. But opening the conversation by suggesting we rewrite the entire Constitution over one issue? That's not courage. That's chaos. Not even the loudest voices on the far left have gone that far, and frankly, let's hope they don't. The Constitution isn't some disposable flyer you crumple when it no longer fits your narrative. It's the bedrock of our democracy, the framework that has kept this nation standing for more than 200 years. You don't burn down the house just because you hate the paint.
But I agree. How do you do it?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the most important point. There's already 330. There's more guns than there are people, so what do you do? So, by the way, I think you buy as many as you can back for sure. You spend a whole bunch of taxpayer money. Just help. By the way, there's a ton of people in a bind right now that have a rifle, but like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to afford my insulin. Let me get rid of this AK-47 to live another month. You buy some guns back. It's a good expenditure of money. And then melt them down and turn them into furniture for people.
So if you wanted to do that without changing the Second Amendment, like you just have a buyback where you just offer people the opportunity to make some money by giving their guns up.
Well, the Second Amendment has been interpreted wrong by the Supreme Court, in my opinion.
Look, if you're in the market for a kitchen table or a simple stand, don't overcomplicate it, just hit up IKEA. Or better yet, swing by Home Depot, grab some wood and tools, and turn it into a weekend DIY project. Now, about Pete. He didn't walk into that podcast looking for a real dialogue. From the jump, it was clear, he came armed with hot takes meant to provoke, not connect. Whatever Joe said, Pete was there to push back. No depth, no genuine curiosity, just pure performance. And you could see it wearing thin on Joe, who was clearly running out of patience by the minute.
The main issue is definitely the guns and the bullets in them.
Well, the main issue is the person that's capable of shooting people with the guns and the bullets.
No, it's the guns and the bullets.
The guns and the bullet are inanimate objects. Without a person pulling the trigger, we're talking nonsense here. They're not going to shoot themselves.
It's a healthcare issue, it's so extreme. It's really, if you want to know the answer to healthcare issues, you should talk to public health experts. They have those answers. They have the research, but
hold on. What research? On what?
Well, they don't have enough research on. They don't have enough research on gun violence.
What are you
unfortunately,
talking about then?
I'm talking about if you want to know the solutions for what is impacting and creating, by any measure, accidental death.
Right, but we're talking about gun violence, right?
Right.
What healthcare professionals have the solutions to gun violence?
And just like that, Pete unraveled, talking in circles, tripping over his own contradictions like it was some bizarre form of performance art. Joe's audience wasn't buying it either. The comment section lit up. One listener nailed it, "I was listening on the podcast app and opened YouTube just so I could dislike this video. Savage." Another added, "I wanted to like this guy, but he just kept digging and digging." But even Pete's spiral couldn't hold a candle to the sheer chaos that followed when Kurt Metzger hijacked the show. Out of nowhere, he launched into a rant so wildly off-topic, it felt like he'd been beamed in from another dimension. No segue, no warning, just a hard left into his own world, leaving everyone else blinking in confusion, wondering what planet they just landed on.
There's that whole joke thief there. I'm like, listen, I was there, and also I know comedy, and I know better than you jerk off at home. So if I tell you, just think I know better. I'll just put it that way. Maybe that's arrogant, but I just been doing it for 20 years, and you never had the balls to get on stage. So I think I just know better. They're outraged.
You're fighting with someone who's not even here. No one even knows what you're fighting over right there. You just started some joke thief fight. No one has any idea what you're saying.
All right, guys, is when I defended Amy.
Right.
Amy, and I had people like lecture, and I'm like, don't presume to tell me shit. The same reason I became a comic. I could do that. So but at least I did it. If you get on stage and do it, I'll give it to you. But these people think they can do your job.
But hold on a second. In their defense, they're looking at a film that shows time after time bits that
Gavin made to specifically her because she said I play a racist Republican.
What?
The little YouTube video where they took movies in the show, which by the way she doesn't write the show. It was ridiculous.
Here's the quick backstory. Allegations that Amy Schumer had been lifting jokes started surfacing around 2015, with Reddit users being the first to piece things together. By 2016, it wasn't just internet noise. Comedians began tweeting not-so-subtle jabs suggesting their material had been borrowed. Then came the YouTube breakdowns, side-by-side comparisons that, frankly, didn't paint Amy in the best light. She chalked it up to parallel thinking, claiming that any unintentional overlaps were pulled as soon as her team noticed. Reasonable, if that's how it went down. Enter Kurt Metzger. As a writer on Inside Amy Schumer, he naturally came to her defense. And let's be real, he kind of had to. His reputation, and maybe even his future gigs, were tied to hers.
Wait a minute. There were bits that were exactly the same as bits that were on
mediocre bits that anyone would have thought of?
Dude, relax. You're arguing against someone who's not even here.
Well, right? I was trying to bring up why they were going at me. That's why.
But the problem with what you're saying is they have evidence. They're looking at one bit, and it's exactly the same as another bit.
If I look at the evidence and I come to a different conclusion, let's go with my conclusion because I was there.
What about due process?
And the guys who were saying
bullshit.
There's a due process guy.
That's not enough. That's not enough to convince someone. Oh, just trust me.
Do you think
isn't that like some authoritative sheriff type shit? Just trust me.
Hey, I'm not going to them. To the sheriff. I'm not going to them. They're coming to me.
Honestly, I still don't know what Kurt was trying to pull. The lead of the show you write for gets hit with serious, well-documented accusations of joke theft, and your big defense is basically, trust me, bro, I know what I'm talking about. That's not a defense. That's blind loyalty with a mic. And here's the thing, yelling doesn't make your argument stronger. It does the opposite. It broadcasts insecurity. Classic move, when your take has no real footing, you raise your voice and hope sheer volume can fill in the gaps. But Joe wasn't having it. He stayed calm, broke it down piece by piece, and showed exactly why Kurt's argument just didn't hold up.
If they see the evidence, right? You have to be real clear and non-confrontational when you're handling something like that.
But, dude, I won't. First of all, number one, the larger issue is I never should be on social media talking to any of the at all, explaining it. I don't owe any of you, anybody listening, if you have a question or a judgment, I don't owe you an explanation for it.
I understand.
I don't know where the you got the idea that I do. So I was wrong that I even had an answer at all because you have people, hey, joke thief. Really, that's the word about me, that I'm a joke thief. From some know-nothing, and they just want to see I'll talk back to them. Most of these animals can't believe you're speaking to them.
They think that you did steal it, and you've got to explain how this was parallel thinking. There's going to be a bunch of people.
Many times I did.
I know, but a lot of people haven't heard it, and you're blurting it out like that someone's arguing you in the room.
At this point, it honestly felt like Kurt was Amy's last ride or die, maybe her only real fan left. And the irony? She got hit with plagiarism accusations again in 2022, this time while co-hosting the 94th Academy Awards. The joke she told had already gone viral months earlier, as a tweet from back in December. So yeah, maybe she really did parallel think her way right out of relevance. But hey, I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's talk about it. And if you know someone who'd enjoy this roller coaster, share the video with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.